This is a Flukemonger, one of the tankiest non-boss enemies you can find in Hollow Knight. And I just killed it in a single hit. Today we'll be answering the age-old question, what is the biggest amount of damage you can deal in a single blow in Hollow Knight? So let's jump right in, shall we? The first step to achieving this is a no-brainer. Obviously, we'll need to have collected every little bit of pale ore so we can fully upgrade the nail into the pure nail, which hits for a formidable 21 damage. From here, it's a matter of throwing on Fury of the Fallen, which increases our damage by a further 75% when at 1 mask, as well as Unbreakable Strength, which adds another 50%. And even better, these two bonuses stack multiplicably for a total of 170.6% bonus nail damage. With both of these boosts applied, it'll look something like this. First, our 21 damage is multiplied by Unbreakable Strength, and 50% extra damage is added. This results in 31.5, which is then rounded to 32 damage. As a side note, due to this rounding, that means Unbreakable Strength with a pure nail actually increases damage by 52.3% and not the 50% listed on the label. Next up, our 32 damage is further increased by 75% from the Fury of the Fallen bonus, taking us to 56 damage. Now, don't get me wrong, this is pretty good, but it's not exactly groundbreaking, and we're not even close to one-shotting a Flukemonger. And that's why we're going to look to nail arts to boost this by quite a lot more. Great Slash and Slash Dash deals 250% of whatever your nails damage is. With our current setup, this would be 140 damage. I say would be because in actual fact, we only hit for 92 damage. This is because Unbreakable Strength, unfortunately, is ignored when using nail arts. Still, 92 damage is nothing to scoff at. However, we're kind of at the limit of what we can do in the base game and without cheating. And here's where we're going to turn to the Pale Court mod and the new charms it offers. This is a fan-made DLC, however it's so well made I honestly consider it a part of the official game. Either way you look at it, this DLC is going to give us access to a charm known as Abyssal Bloom. This works in a similar way to Fury of the Fallen, except there are a few things different. Each missing mask is going to grant us a stacking buff that increases our nail damage. The more masks we lose, the more damage we'll have. And the good thing for us, not only does it stack with Fury of the Fallen, but it also works on nail arts. Furthermore, it also has a synergy with Sharp Shadow that further boosts the amount of damage we gain per missing mask. So here's the build. We're keeping Fury of the Fallen, but since Unbreakable Strength doesn't work with nail arts, we're going to ditch it to make more room in our setup. From here, we'll be using Abyssal Bloom as well as Sharp Shadow for the extra damage it brings with its synergy. And now we're left with 2 more notches to fill. And that just so happens to be perfect because there's only one charm that can further boost our damage in this build, and that charm is Unbreakable Heart. Abyssal Bloom and Sharp Shadow will be boosting our damage by about 11.25% for each mask we lose, so adding 2 extra health roughly translates to an extra 22.5% damage. So let's recap. Now we're getting a 75% boost from Fury of the Fallen, a 112.5% boost from Abyssal Bloom with a little help from Sharp Shadow and Unbreakable Heart, and finally, an extra 150% from Great Slash. Oh, and I nearly forgot. Great Slash multiplies our nail damage after all these charms have boosted it. That means our multipliers are gonna get multiplied as well. Now for the moment of truth. And there we have it, a 150 damage Great Slash. That's a total boost of 614%, or just over 7 times the damage of our base nail. Pretty incredible if I do say so myself. There is one build that can theoretically give us even more damage than this. However, unfortunately, there's a bit of an in-game bug with the charm interactions, and it doesn't calculate as it should. So I won't be able to give you a genuine look at it in action, but still, the video wouldn't feel complete without showing it off somewhat, so let's go over it. And you never know, maybe it'll get fixed someday. The build in question isn't too different to the one we just mentioned. The only difference here is we'll be squeezing on Joni's Blessing and Overcharming. Why Joni's Blessing, you may ask? Well, the reason's simple. Joni's Blessing Lifeblood masks actually count as real masks as far as the Abyssal Bloom damage buff is concerned. This means we can lose even more masks and therefore gain even more damage. With Joni and Unbreakable Heart, we end up with 16 masks of damage, meaning we can lose 15 before getting to 1 health for an even bigger damage boost. There is one obstacle we have to get around though. Remember, we need to overcharm to fit in Joni's Blessing, meaning we take 2 masks of damage every hit, and we also have an even number of masks. See the problem I'm getting at? We need to find a way to lose 1 mask while overcharmed, otherwise we can never get to exactly 1 mask and achieve our full damage potential. But don't worry, I have a workaround. It turns out if you fall into spikes while you have iframe still active, you'll only take 1 mask of damage even when overcharmed. Using this trick, we can get ourselves to exactly 1 mask. So now with our 15 missing masks, Abyssal Bloom is giving us approximately 168.75 bonus damage. Add on the boost from Fury of the Fallen as well as Great Slash, and now we're hitting for a grand total of 134 damage. Yeah, unfortunately something in the calculation bugs out and we somehow lose damage here, but through the power of editing and cheats, let's see what we should be hitting for. Ta-da! 184 damage, assuming my math's correct. That's 776% more than base, or the equivalent of 8.76 strikes of the pure nail. Now look, we've been straying further and further away from Gorb with each improvement, starting from base game methods, then to a mod, and then to a build in the mod that kinda doesn't actually work, so screw it. We might as well go all the way and just outright cheat. Let's add just a little bit of extra nail damage using the debug mod. There we go. I think the tankiest boss is White Defender with 1600 health or so that should do nicely. And now I'll leave you with my completely real, totally legit world record Radiant Nightmare King Grim speedrun. Thanks for watching guys, and remember to like and subscribe. And check out my other videos for more Hollow Knight content.